Okay, for today's review, we are going to review the Safari Ltd Dino line Nanotyrannus. This is a figure that had a little bit of controversy when it first came out, but if you look more into it, it's not as controversial of a figure as it originally was thought to be. And this video is the third of 5 of some Safari figures I ordered. I ordered a lot, and I'll put a link to that video. I've reviewed 2 of the figures already, and I have 2 of the figures will be the next 2 or 2 of the upcoming individual figure reviews. And the 2 upcoming are the Safari Ltd Dino and the Safari Ltd Tyrannus. Those are the next or 2 of the upcoming individual figure reviews, unless something comes up before then. But we did review 2 of the 5 figures from that lot already. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. So first we're going to go over the dinosaur information, and this part's a little different than most of my normal videos, because this is kind of a different review just because Nanotyrannus, the whole controversy behind it. So Nano has a little bit of controversy over if it's really Nanotyrannus or if it is just a juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. I will say I'm not going to discuss what I think is accurate in this video. That's going to be an upcoming video. But, yeah, that's the whole reason why I'm making this video right now. In this video, I'm not going to say whether or not I'm on the pro-nano or anti-nanotyrannus side. But that will be an upcoming video where I'm going to go heavy in detail on which one I think is the accurate way and why. But this video, we're just going to go over the stuff that is believed about Nanotyrannus or juvenile Rex. If Nanotyrannus is a valid genus, however, some paleontologists believe it would be more closely related to it would be an Ablbertosaurine like Ablbertosaurus and Gorgosaurus, but a lot of paleontologists just think Nanotyrannus is a juvenile T-Rex, which would put it just as a Tyrannosaur or a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but there's a lot of controversy over it, and either way, whether this dinosaur is a Nanotyrannus or a juvenile T-Rex, it would have the same niche in the environment as the medium-sized predator hunting the faster prey like Ornithomimus and Anzu. I don't have an Anzu figure, Safari has one, but I did get this Oviraptor figure just to represent the Oviraptors and the omnivorous theropods that it would hunt. And then it would also hunt the other faster-moving, smaller prey like Pachycephalosaurus. And that's what it would hunt, while adult Tyrannosaurs would actually more likely hunt stuff like... While the adult Tyrannosaurs would actually hunt stuff like Edmontasaurus and Triceratops. And obviously something like a Nanotyrannus would obviously take like juveniles of those, but it would be very hard for a Nanotyrannus to single-handedly kill a Edmontasaurus or adult Triceratops. And whenever I say Nanotyrannus, I'm also referring to juvenile Rex. But yeah, either way, it would have that smaller predator niche, or that medium-sized predator niche of hunting the smaller, faster prey, while T-Rex would hunt the larger, more bulky prey. And now we'll get into the figure itself. Oh, and also, whether or not it is Nano or juvenile Rex, it did live in the Hell Creek Formation with dinosaurs like T-Rex. We'll just get those figures out again. It would live with dinosaurs like T-Rex, or it is just a T-Rex. It would also live with dinosaurs like Triceratops, Edmontasaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus, along with a bunch of other dinosaurs. And the figure itself, the Safari Ltd Dino line, which I will explain. The Safari Ltd Dino line is models based on the Dino movie, so Safari really has no control over the figure as far as like adding features or the name being Nanotyrannus. But overall, though, it is a really good figure for either Nanotyrannus or juvenile T-Rex. I personally would have to say, and I know this is less Safari's choice and more Dino Dana's, I would like to have seen this figure have feathers. But, that was the Dino Dana line decision. Or the Dino Dana series decision for it to be a featherless juvenile. But, it's up to them. So it wasn't as much up to Safari. Because Safari's already shown before that they've been on the pro feathered juvenile Rex. Because this is the Safari Ltd feathered, or it's the Safari Ltd juvenile T-Rex. And it's feathered. And this is a figure all the way from 2005. So Safari has shown before that they are pro, or at least were pro at one point, the more feathered juvenile Rex. And even at one point were pro the feathered adult T-Rex, which is kind of mixed opinions on that now, or at least to that extent. And really the only knock I can give to the figure itself, other than that I would have liked to see feathers, but like I said, that's not really as much up to Safari's control, is that it's not the best standing figure. It falls over pretty easily. The feet are already warping a little on mine, and mine I literally have had for just a few months. So mine it gets sandwiched in between some other figures, so that way it can stand for sure, because you can see, unless you just make sure it's standing, it doesn't stand great. And usually in this series, in my individual reviews, I go over some featured documentaries. But with this being Nanotyrannus, or Juvenile Rex, it's kind of weird. So, but if you do actually want to see a juvenile T-Rex versus a Nanotyrannus, or a hypothetical juvenile T-Rex versus a Nanotyrannus, Jurassic Fight Club made a not so great episode over it, and you can watch it. I wouldn't really recommend it as far as scientific accuracy, but they did do it. But as far as the actual show, the whole point of the Dino Dana movie, which features it, is to find out about the kid dinosaurs, because the girl Dana is looking for kid dinosaurs because she thinks there's not many kid dinosaurs in the fossil record. And they end up finding that, like, the Dracorex and Stygimoloch are kid or really juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. And they also end up coming at the end saying that that Nanotyrannus is a kid T-Rex or a juvenile T-Rex. Which is honestly pretty cool that they're teaching kids that over the Dracorex and Stygimoloch probably being Pachycephalosaurus, and over Nanotyrannus probably being T-Rex. That is really cool that they're actually teaching that. But one thing I will say that is super, super weird to me in the Dino Dana movie is the fact that their adult T-Rex is feathered while the juvenile T-Rex / Nanotyrannus is not feathered. This Safari Ltd T-Rex, the Dino Dana series version of this figure is the exact same figure, but just in different colors. So you can see how feathered they went in this model, but you can see that this one is completely scaled, which is so weird. I would expect the exact opposite, honestly. And now we'll go over the featured figures. So obviously, well, I will do one other thing speaking about the figures. So we'll go over all of the angles. I do actually like the color scheme of the brown with the white stripes. But like I said, there's only really two knocks I would really give this figure. Since it's, considering how the episode goes, or how the movie goes, it's more like they're saying it's a juvenile T-Rex. But like I said, there's only two real issues I really have with this figure. I don't really have an issue with it being called Nanotyrannus due to it being the Dino Dana line, and even the Dino Dana series saying that it is a juvenile T-Rex. The only issue I really have is it's not the best standing figure, and I would have really liked to have seen it feathered, considering their adult T-Rex is feathered. And even if their adult T-Rex was featherless, I would have liked to have seen this figure feathered, but that's really the only critiques I can have on it. So we'll go over the featured figures. So this is a section where I go over every figure that I showed in this episode. So obviously, this is the Safari Ltd Dino Dana line, Nanotyrannus. This is the Safari Ltd Feather T-Rex. This one's not in the best of shape, but this is actually one I got in a lot. I didn't buy it. It has some standing issues, but I've heard some people's has standing issues right away. This is the Safari Ltd Utyrannus, which will be reviewed hopefully pretty soon. Just like this Safari Ltd Dinokairos, which will be reviewed in the future. those two, I'm not for sure which will come out at first out of those two, but those are 2 upcoming reviews. This is the Safari Ltd Carnegie Collection Triceratops. This is the Papo, I think like baby Pachycephalosaurus or juvenile. It's not actually supposed to be an adult Pachycephalosaurus. This is the long retired Safari Ltd juvenile T-Rex. This is the Walking with Dinosaurs miniseries Gorgosaurus or Gorgon. This is the Safari Ltd Carnegie Collection Oviraptor. And finally, we have the Safari Ltd Film Museum Anatotitan, aka Edmontasaurus. I will put a link to any of these figures that I have done an individual figure review for. I think it's really only the Anatotitan / Edmontasaurus. And if you want to see why I say Anatotitan / Edmontasaurus, I would recommend watching that video. But overall, I think this is actually a really good figure, even though it does have its issues, being Nano / Juvenile Rex, being not being the best standing figure, lacking feathers. But I do think it is still a really good figure, and a really good addition to any collection. And I do want to mention a few other things, though, aside from this figure. We just recently hit over 70 subscribers, which was an awesome milestone. So I want to thank you all so much for getting me there. And I did also recently unlock the channel features. And I don't really think that's due to a certain subscriber thing. I think it's because I've unlocked something on YouTube by like messing around with my settings. But I'm going to start using that more. I've actually got a poll up right now over which of a certain group of figures you all would like to see up on the channel. And right now it's tied. So if you want to have a say in what's going to be some upcoming videos, I would definitely recommend voting on that. I mean, I will say this is not supposed to be the 70 subscriber special, and there's really not going to be a 70 subscriber special. I don't really plan on having another subscriber special video until we get to 100 subs, so hopefully we get there pretty soon. And I think it is definitely possible. And yeah, I think that's it. But one video that is going to be coming soon due to this video is the Nanotyrannus versus Juvenile T-Rex controversial cases. I didn't really discuss my opinion on the matter as much in this video, but in that video I am going to discuss my opinion, and I'm going to back it up with some evidence. So thank you all so much for watching, and I am out. I forgot to mention in the video, the main reason why I wanted this figure or a Nanotyrannus figure in general was for that upcoming controversial cases video, because I just really wanted to have a Nanotyrannus figure for that video, because usually in those videos I like to have figures of at least the main dinosaurs. So since I already had that juvenile T-Rex figure, having the Nanotyrannus was kind of necessary for that video. So that was one of the big reasons why I bought the Nanotyrannus in that lot. That included the Ablbertosaurus, the Dinocyrus, the Nanotyrannus, and the Qianzhosaurus.